Hi, Sneha. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. So, thank you for taking time out for our chat today. I'm recording this so that the future participants of Mind Over Matter can hear the benefit that you got out of Mind Over Matter. And you completed the face-to-face program 2 years back. This is for the online program that I'm going to be launching soon. So, Sneha is a director in Aarvee Associates, a company based in Hyderabad. So, Sneha, you tell us more in detail of what you do.
So I'm a civil engineer by education, a structural engineer to be specific, but I'm a manager by practice. So I spend more of my time in managing projects, the operations, and people. Yeah, and I'm mostly handle our international projects and our railway projects. So we are a multidisciplinary civil engineering consulting firm.
Yeah.
So we mostly deal with people all the time. So that's what I do. And at work, at home, I have 2 boys, so I'm a
Yeah.
working mom.
Yes. So good. Thank you. Really appreciate you taking out time, especially at this time when you're managing both home front and work front. So, Sneha, could you tell us, first of all, what prompted you to come to attend Mind Over Matter?
I've always liked, attending programs which help me improve. What really piqued my interest was that it was a program for women, right? Which I don't see very often. So, and most importantly, it was being conducted by you. So that was the main reason.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that vote of confidence. So, Sneha, tell me, what changed for you after attending Mind Over
Um, One of the main things that changed for me is I think the way I think I've become a little more forgiving,
Matter?
or I don't take in terms of relationships with people, because especially at work, people come, people go, and you have hopes on people that they'll stay with you, but attrition is a thing that we live with. So um, I think I'm more forgiving of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big because, like you said, that your business depends on people, and
Yeah.
when people have been trained in your organization and then they leave, then it's really a lot of hard work that goes right. And what were some of the limiting beliefs that you were able to let go of by attending the program?
There's one that I keep telling a lot of people. Was that well, there's an activity that we did where we had to, if thinking of an issue, we have to be in our shoes, in the other person's shoes, and also as a third person looking at the issue,
Right.
And how you would advise them, a third party. That was a very interesting. I mean, for me, it was like a moment of epiphany. So now, for me, it was always like I pride myself on my logic, and I think the logical solution always comes to me quickly.
Right.
But I also had this thing that when it's so simple, why doesn't the other person get it? Right? Because this is the right logic. But what is for me? What I've been able to it struck me then that what is logical for me is not logical for the other person, right? So being able to this again ties into my whole process of being forgiving people, because I now understand that they might not get what I am saying, and I'm okay with it.
Right.
Making peace with that, because even in personal relationships, like my brother and I argue a lot, and I'd always be like, no, wait, stay here, listen to my side of the argument, and I will convince you. I think I can convince you. But now I think it's fine. I mean, I'm right, he's right. We find a middle ground, and we're both okay.
Right.
Sort of. So that was a really big change for me.
Right. And what impact what impact has it had in your life?
Again, like I said, with my brother especially, I think we now have very constructive arguments.
Right.
So we're not developing baggage that will carry forward. I've been able to have really good conversations with him. I mean, this is when we argue.
Right.
My brother in the US and I terribly miss him. Well, in my family, we've always been told that arguments are constructive because it's better to, say your piece than to keep it inside and, bottle it up. So that, and at work, a lot of times at work, and then I see a lot of people that I'm mentoring to be managers struggle with this issue. They struggle with this a lot because they expect people to immediately understand and catch up and start working. But
Right.
grooming people into that line of thought and work takes a lot of time. Right. I feel I appreciate this more in the last couple of years. So I am subconsciously attributing it to mind over matters.
Right.
But so that's the main change. I mean, difference for me is that because now I'm able to see that it takes time. And I'm also being able to talk to other people whom I'm mentoring to say that they also have to pass this on, right? You have to, spend time on people to think like you. So
right. And Sneha, what I'm hearing from you is that because of the program, you were able to understand that people have different model of the world, and they are looking at it from their lens, and you are looking at it from your lens, and therefore, and your experience is not same as their experience, and therefore your logic may not sit well with them. So, and you kind of created that enhanced understanding about self and others.
Right.
Yeah, and those are exactly the kind of outcomes one would want from a program like Mind Over Matter. That and it leads to improvement in relationships, right? Sneha, were there any small changes that you made? Because we talk about law of the farm. So, were there any small changes that you made after attending Mind Over Matter that you feel have kind of created a big impact as time passed?
One of the things that I had committed to do at that time was to pause before I fight back. I think I'm like 50-60% successful, and not I'm successful all the time. But that was a small thing, just that pause. I knew it was required. I've known that for a long time because I'm very quick to get agitated. But I think I've been able to pause many times, which has made a big difference for me.
Wonderful. Yeah, and with time, when people see you pausing, maybe they will also pause before they speak. Another question that I had in mind was, what kind of balance has Mind Over Matter inspired in your life, if any?
The fact that the wheel of life that you do to balance out. Until I put my pen on the paper, I didn't realize that there's so many aspects to it. Right. It's if you think about it, I'll say work, kids, and maybe one or two hobbies and family. But then there's exercise, there's healthy eating, there's so many other things, relationship with friends, all of that. Obviously over time, unless you put it down, you don't remember them, so you don't think of it that it's a thing that you have to look at. But unless you have everything, obviously what's the point of life if you're working all the time and you don't have time to enjoy the finer points of life, or you're not striving to be healthy, then you're not. But when you're working all the time, you really don't think about it. Right, you hardly have time to think about it. But that and many small things like that we don't tend to think about in the daily rush. Those are things that are at least then you think about it. Okay, so it's at the back of your mind that you at least do maybe one day a week. You never worked out, so at least maybe once a week to start with. So things like that.
And it's a change. It's a small change, and you are a working mom with two little kids. One is still under a year old, so it can't be easy. So, but to even have that intention means with time you will be able to give it some more time.
Hope I really hope so.
Yes, hold on to the intentions, Sneha. That's the important thing. And overall, if you had to kind of give a message to women who were considering attending, or were in two minds about it, what message would you want to give to them?
So I did this program along with my mother. So and we actually did not have any. So we managed to do the program without actually coming across. So that we still had our safe space to take the program in. And we both came out. We had different takeaways from the program.
Right.
So I think that in itself is completely amazing, because each of the activities are designed for to imagine a problem that you have. Right. So I like the structure of Mind Over Matters, because that makes it. That's what I usually tell others, that why I like your program, over the others that I have attended, is that each of us comes with our own issues, and we learn how to deal with that.
Right.
Right. So it could be anybody, any walk of life. Even sitting at home, there are a lot of issues that people deal with. People who are working, single, whoever it is, and whatever age group you are in, each of us has a different baggage and different problem. Things that we get stuck up with. So, and we're able to deal with that in our own way. And it's, again, I think it's structured for us to have our own epiphanies, which is precipitated by the way you actually moderate us. You don't tell us what it is, but you lead us there. So that's absolutely wonderful while attending Mind Over Matters.
Yeah, and thank you for that, Sneha, because when I designed it, even I didn't realize that it could end up being so transformative. But it's really a series of framework, and each one can go stepwise through their own journey of wherever they want to get to. So there is no push, there is no pressure, and I don't even need to know the issues that one is dealing with, but they will still make the progress and get where they want to. And I think, and that creates a safe space for a lot of people who may not be comfortable sharing many personal issues. So and overall, in terms of value, what you'd say, what value does Mind Over Matter give anyone?
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to work on yourself. I mean, there are many. Again, you don't have to walk into Mind Over Matter with because you have a specific problem. Right. When you go there, you might even realize, oh yeah, right, I do have this hesitation, or I do have this problem. So things like that. I mean, like I said, that what I realized about people, that wasn't even a problem that I was thinking that I had.
That's right.
But that's the thing that that changed the most for me.
Right.
So I was able to, in terms of you don't even do. I'm not saying only people who have problems attend this session. You don't just set. It helps you find your own better self.
Right. Actually, the thing is, Sneha, the way the program is, it's about the unconscious issues that we are harboring. It's not even about the conscious. That what is in our conscious, we are probably better prepared to deal with it. But the patterns that are running unconsciously, they come to the fore, and in a very safe way, you can deal with them without feeling totally overwhelmed. So I think that's what you're referring to, isn't it?
When you do the NLP exercises, you ask us to picture how we will be 6 months from now, 1 year from now. To be fair, I did not think it would have been would actually matter, something like that. But 2 years from now, I'm still finding that it has worked, right? Something like that. At least for me, I have not taken anything like that or experienced anything like that before.
Yeah.
Right? So envisaging that really helped.
Yeah. And Sneha, I remember you pointing out that, there was a follow-up coaching session. And as part of my online program, I'm planning to have, at least a few coaching sessions with each person. So what difference did the coaching session make to you? And that was done online. It wasn't done face-to-face.
Correct. I think the coaching session was really important. I think, we dealt with one issue that I was facing at that point. And I can successfully say after 2 years, I haven't, whenever I face that issue, I haven't felt like that again. Again, this was an NLP exercise you made me do, which I did not even believe in at that point. But it was a thing that it was an issue a roadblock I faced ever since I was in school. Right. But last 2 years, nothing, like magic, nothing. I don't freeze anymore in sort of difficult situations. And trust me, last 3 months, I've been working on a very difficult project, and I've been put on the spot multiple times. And each of those times, I'm really happy to say that I've been able to find ways to fight back.
Right.
Not at that moment. Like I've listened. I said, "Fine, it's okay," and then gotten back to them. So it's completely different than what I would have faced earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm very conscious of that. And I know how to handle that issue now much better.
One could work through many things, but there could be little remnants that are not worked through. And in that little one-to-one time that one has, one can kind of iron those out. And what you are saying, Sneha, is that the issues that you had held on to for a long time, in like one coaching session, you were able to decimate it. And because of the way it was done, even now you are aware that that is something that I could go there, but I will not go there, and there is a very high consciousness. Thank you again for coming to the program and for making the changes and making time for this call.
Thank you so much.